Hey comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and today fans, Mike Spider Slayer is talking about the Age of Ultron. That's right fans, I got to see this movie on opening weekend, probably the first movie I've seen in opening weekend in a long time, but I had to see it. It's been all the hype for so long now that I just had to go see this movie and see if it was worth all that hype. And let me just tell you, yes it was. So if you haven't seen it yet, go ahead and see it. Now, I will be sharing some spoilers with you guys, so if you haven't seen this movie yet, please, check back with this review once you see this movie. I'm not going to give a ton of spoilers away, but I am going to be talking about some of them. So, first off, let's talk about the movie itself, the visuals of this movie. Visually, what can you expect from Marvel Studios but nothing but an entertaining, kickoff to the summer movie season. And this movie visually was outstanding. I really loved looking at this, whether it was the beginning of this movie, how the Avengers were all working together. I thought it was outstanding, just defeating the soldiers and doing all the stunts that they do. Banner changing back to, or Hulk changing back to the Banner. You get to see, Iron Man flying around Hydra's base. And I really loved, too, how the beginning of the movie played off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. If you've seen that show, it continues it off nicely, and a nice start to the movie and a good introduction to, Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in here. But visually, it was great. Ultron was nice looking, especially all his other Ultron robots that he creates throughout the movie, whether it's the city lifting from the sky, the Hulkbuster fighting, Hulk. Those scenes were just full of action, made it really realistic because it was like, the camera seemed to be always shaking and it just felt like you were right in the scene. And it almost makes it feel like, you have to see this movie a second time in order to really catch everything that was going on, because at times it was really, really busy. But nevertheless, it was a fantastic movie visually, and I felt that there was nothing really wrong with it at all. Maybe a couple of nitpicks, with maybe in the very beginning where there was so much going on, but nevertheless, it was nothing to really, sit there and go, oh my God, this was wrong. Great movie, great visual movie. I can only imagine what this was like in IMAX or 3D or something like that. Excuse me. So next, what I think about some of these characters in the movie, I thought these characters were really well done. The one thing that Marvel does really well with the Avengers is they create a nice balance, whether it's humor or dark, whether it's having characters shine at certain moments, not too many characters getting so much of the spotlight and then you don't see enough of one character. I think Marvel does a really great job, and that if DC wants to compete with Marvel in the cinematic universe, they need to do that with the Batman and Superman movie or their Justice League movie or whatever the hell it's going to be, because if you can't get a good balance, you're not going to get a good movie. And I think Avengers did that really well, in my opinion. I think they knew when to make it light, they knew when to make it dark, or if there was a dark moment, they added a light, humor moment in there, and to, break up that, that monotony that was going on. And it was so well done. One of the things is that caught me by surprise was Clint. Clint in the movie was really funny at times, and he made me laugh. And he wasn't like that in the last movie. And this time they really kind of put a focal point on him. We find out that he has a family. We find out that that he's just as important to the team as any of those other superpowered heroes out there. And I thought that was really they gave him his moment in time. He's a really funny character. There's one scene in there where he's trying to pep talk Scarlet Witch, and he just sits there. He's like, we're fighting robots, and there's a floating city. And then he thinks about it himself. He's like, yeah, there's robots, a floating city, and I have a bow and arrow, and it's just like, it's just funny moments, because it really, he really sits down and thinks about it, and he's like, yeah, I'm just a normal guy, you know. So there's moments like that. Scarlet Witch has her moment, you know, where whether it's you know, she witnesses the death of her brother, or she uses her powers, and you know, Iron Man has his moment where he goes and he finds the secret passageway, and he just sits there and he's like, please let there be a secret passageway. Please let there be a secret. Yay! You know, he says funny things like that. Hulkbuster armor, where he's fighting the Hulk and he's sitting there saying, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, you know. And also, when it comes to they have these mind sequences where Scarlet Witch infected their minds, and you got to see backstories of these characters, and you get to see Captain America dealing with Peggy Carter, and Thor dealing with his situation, and you get to see you know, Banner dealing with his situation. So everyone had a chance to shine, and again, that's what the movie did so well, and they have such a good balance in their movies. What did I think about the actual story itself? I thought the story was well done. You know, Ultron was a character that I definitely did not expect to have so much human form to him. I thought he would speak more, a little bit more like a computer, not so much like an intellectual being. And it definitely threw me for a loop. I did not expect the Vision in this movie to be like Jarvis. I did not expect that at all. But I liked how Vision was between the two characters. He was like an Ultron, he understood him, and then it was like Jarvis, and he understood what the Avengers stood for and why they fight the way they do. Ultron's character, I felt like needed more time to develop a little bit more. I felt like his development was rushed. It was just like he came online, and right away it was just like he knew the Avengers were the people he had to extinguish. He had to extinguish the human race, and he just started evolving right from the get-go. So I think if there was anything, I think a development of Ultron should have been a little bit more told. The story should have been told a little bit better there. But what can you do? It's a 2.5-hour movie already. And from what I know, the DVD version or the Blu-ray version is going to be longer, so his story will be told in probably a better fashion. But overall, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. Key characters in here were real funny. Again, the Avengers characters, I thought them acting as a team was much better, I thought, in this movie than in the last movie, because of the fact that they have already been together. And the cool thing is at the end of this movie, we get to see new Avengers join the team. And isn't that what the Avengers is all about? There's always new teams being added and being let go, or them doing other things. So, you know, certain characters can cover certain areas of the universe. So, you know, I understand why they're switching out the characters here and there. Just going down the line real quick, Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, really well done as always. There's nothing that I do not like about Iron Man in this movie. Again, he was just really well done and funny as always. What I loved about Thor in this movie was he's just hysterical. He's this god, but again, he just has this tone to him that's just like kind of like this wise ass god. And one of the funny moments here had to do, of course, with the Avengers trying to lift the hammer, and he's just like, "You'll never lift this hammer," you know. And it's just so awesome. And there's this one moment, huge spoiler alert, where the Vision lifts the hammer, and everyone is just side by side, just in awe, thinking that, oh my God, I can't believe the Vision just lifted the hammer. So really funny stuff there. Bruce Banner, Hulk, great character, always fun to see the destruction that he causes in the city, and it was the first time that you really got to witness that. Now, the one thing I thought that was okay, but was done a little bit too much, was Black Widow and Hulk's relationship, about putting him to sleep and them connecting. I liked Bruce Banner and Widow's relationship, but not the Hulk and Widow so much. It was like, oh, you know, sun's getting real low. It seemed a little repetitive. Captain America, Chris Evans, great. He's the leader. Really well done. I love Scarlett Johansson. I think she's a great Black Widow. Her action scenes in this movie were fantastic. Loved when she was riding the motorcycle, just with the shield and just her fight scenes. I mean, she is just a badass, and she's hot too. Again, Jeremy Renner, like I already talked about, Clint. Yeah, really well done. Just unexpected moments from there. He had great character moments where he didn't have that as much in the last movie. James Spader as Ultron. Again, he played a good Ultron. I just didn't expect him to be so like a human and be like Tony Stark in a way, where you can see a lot of his dialogue in a way it was like Tony Stark. And when you compared him to Tony Stark, Ultron would get pissed off because he wanted nothing to do with him. He wanted to be better than him. Samuel L. Jackson, really, as Nick Fury again, really nice to see him back in. You know, got the jacket on, get the helicarrier going, getting the shield back in place again. Really well done. James Rhodes, you know, his War Machine was good because he tries to tell a story at a party, and some people, the Avengers, wouldn't get it, but then other people did, and it was just, he had his good moments. Again, great key moment, character moments in this story that made it so good. He was in it very little, but he made an impact that you remember. Quicksilver, he was great. You know, maybe you didn't get to know as much about him as maybe as you should have, but I love that he would do anything to protect his sister. You know, he sacrificed himself in the end. We'll see if he stays dead or not. Again, Scarlet Witch, I loved the special effects around her when she was doing her mind powers. I loved her accent, too. It was really kind of what I anticipated when I was reading the comic books with her voice. So I really loved how she was played, especially towards the end when she woke up and she realized that Ultron was this pure evil. Again, Jarvis is really cool. I did not expect his voice to be with Vision's voice, and I thought that was quite interesting. And I liked how the actual gem was is part of Vision, the Mind Gem. So I thought that was really awesome too. Let's see who else we have. Maria Hill, good to see her in here. She was in the movie quite a bit, and I love her character, and I think she fits it very nicely. Falcon was in here too briefly. It was good to see his scenes in there too. Peggy Carter was in the scene with Captain America. With the whole mind scene that Scarlet Witch did, which was really cool. So yeah, so there's some of the things that, you know, some of the characters that were in there. I thought they all did really well. I thought this movie was better than the first movie. The first movie really introduced your characters working together. This time they already had a chemistry. And I loved the humor. I loved everything that the movie had to offer. I definitely suggest all you guys go and see this particular movie. The end credit scene was kind of cool. You get to see Thanos put on the Infinity Gauntlet. So you know where it's leading to. And yeah, it makes the Marvel Cinematic Universe just that much better. And I just love what they've done with their universe in the movies. And it really, as a person that's read comics all their life and bringing all this to the big screen, you couldn't ask for anything more. And I think DC has a tough challenge up ahead to make their universe, you know, just as enjoyable. And we'll see what happens with that. So, guys, after watching this movie, I'm going to give this one a 4.75 out of 5 stars. I think really close to being a 5-star movie. Again, the Ultron part of it was a little bit underdeveloped, but besides that, really great movie, and definitely suggest that you guys go see this. So leave me your comments below what you thought of this actual movie. And fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And until that next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, fans.